Hey everyone, Andy and Fabian here from Charlywood. We're coming to you live from the Charlywood dungeons here in Vienna, Austria. And this is going to be the first in a series of conversations that we're going to do because people have shown an interest in the songwriting process, the music making process. So I'm going to be talking to the band and trying to answer some of those questions and maybe some of the questions that you didn't even know that you wanted the answers to. If we do that, please let us know in the comments. Cool. So we got here lead guitarist Fabian Lewey from the band.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in because you had to because I said so.
Yeah.
Fabian, you're from Bavaria.
Yes, I am from Bavaria.
Tell us more about that.
Well,
you got born there, right?
I got born there.
Well
I grew up in the countryside in Bavaria. So yeah, no big towns. Relatively small village I grew up in.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I wasn't really around music as a child.
Yeah.
Because my parents weren't that interested. They obviously listened to the radio and stuff like that, but none of them played an instrument or anything like that. But yeah.
Which leads us to the question, why are you holding a guitar which you can play quite well?
Well,
whatever brought you to that idea?
Well, my best mate in school played the guitar. That's how it started.
Yeah.
And then someday a guitar turned up at our house. It was like a nylon string acoustic guitar. I think my mom bought it and wanted to take guitar lessons, which she never did.
Good for you.
So I grabbed it when I was like 12. And I started just to noodle around and try to figure out chords and try to figure out songs that I was interested in playing, which at that time would have been like a lot of indie stuff, like early, like the first Mando Diao record came out. It was the Kooks brought their first record out, and then pretty quickly it went into like classic rock, like major first real guitar influence that really wanted me to practice was probably Angus Young from ACDC.
May he rest in peace. So when was this? When did you pick up this nylon string guitar and start getting into things?
I was 12 years old, so that would have been 2005.
Just remembering how old I am.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get over it. Every time it hurts a little bit. Okay, so 2005, and then what?
Well, then for some time I was just playing for myself, playing around. Well, and eventually, like I convinced my parents that I needed an electric guitar, so they bought me like a cheap one, like I can't remember what it was. Tenson it was called. So it was like a cheap, super cheap, like €100 with amp and stuff like that. It was like a Strat,
a
Strat type, beginner set. And I just played that forever. Like I came home from school and like would just play, turn the amp up until it distorted as loud as I possibly could.
Good.
And
so you got completely obsessed.
Yeah, I got completely obsessed. And like with nothing in particular, I was just listening to songs and trying to figure out how to play them. Whichever song I was into, I was just trying to
that was going to be my next question. There wasn't anyone at that time that you were particularly interested in emulating. You were just...
No, there were a couple of things like I said, like classic rock stuff. Like ACDC, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I was really interested in. And a lot of like the garage rock, indie rock kind of thing. Like Jet, I really liked their record. Came out in like 2006. One it was called. It's a really good record.
Yeah.
I listened to that a lot. That was a good record. Yeah, but I was just jamming along to songs that I enjoyed playing, and that was really it for like a couple of years. Yeah.
Bands?
Yeah, then it was the first band, which was just with my best mates from school.
How old?
15 probably.
15, yeah, about the same as me.
And we just play like some of those cover songs that were all into like the same stuff, and then we started to come up with some own songs, which were alright. We did a couple of gigs. It was a good time, but yeah, nothing super serious. But we used to rehearse every week and meet every week. So it was good times. I enjoyed that. But yeah, then something happened when I was like 16, 17. I discovered John Mayer, which led me to all the blues stuff. yeah, and that was a whole new world, and I became obsessed again, and with really trying to figure out where does it all come from, and through John Mayer I discovered like the old Eric Clapton stuff, and then I discovered like B.B. King and Albert King, all that kind of stuff.
People who have listened to all the Charlywood records will be going, right now, because that was going to be one of my questions, where all of these blues and sometimes country licks and influences came from. So you went down that rabbit hole at some point.
Yeah, first I went down the blues rabbit hole. That was like probably like 3 years, like just playing blues stuff and all kinds of blues, and like Hendrix, of course, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the country thing came fairly lately. I discovered Brett Paisley, who's a great American country guitar player, like super fast, chicken picking country playing, which I found really cool. And another guy called Vince Gill. Yeah, and so I got into that a bit, and I still enjoy doing it. I'm still practicing that because it's really hard.
We get a lot of country licks in Charlywood rehearsals when you haven't got anything to do. That's standard procedure. Yeah, so you've been then in band since you were 15, on and off, more or less.
Yeah, on
constantly, and right?
Probably constantly, actually, because we, with one of the mates who was in the band, we started like a cover band, like playing like little like weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which still exists now. We don't do that many gigs, but it does still exist. Occasionally we play. So that's always a good time, meeting up with all your friends and playing some music. So that's good. And then the other band, that was it. But then Charlywood came along. That was like the next big step for me when I moved to Vienna to actually study guitar.
Yeah. Changed your life.
It did, because I'm still here, aren't I? So
you still are, thank goodness.
Yeah. So it did change my life.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm still in Vienna, I guess. So
yeah.
Well done, you.
Well, thanks very much that you're still here, because we'd be a bit buggered if you weren't. Yeah, you've been playing the guitar then for what now? Over 10 years?
Well, I started when I was 12, and it's like 12 years now that I've been playing some.
Okay, so you've been at it for 12 years.
Yes.
Take a moment, reflect on it. You've seen a lot of other instruments. You've had a lot of experiences, live experiences, seen a lot of stuff. Are you still happy with your 12-year-old choice of choosing the guitar? Or do you sometimes think, man, the trombone, now that would have been something, or maybe the triangle, I don't know. Let's not diss the percussion instruments.
Well, I like the trombone. It's a great instrument.
No disrespect to trombonists.
No. But actually, I'm getting happier playing the guitar every day, because there's so much still to discover. I discover new stuff, new artists every day, great guitar players, and I just get so much joy out of listening to another guy play guitar if he plays really well. Like, for example, I've discovered Joey Landreth recently, which I'm listening to every day almost. I really like
You and I both have a pretty epic man crush for Joey Landreth. Good heavens. Do look him up if you haven't already checked out Joey Landreth. The Brothers Landreth.
Yeah.
That's quite something.
Yeah, so, yeah, and I still enjoy practicing, and like, I still have so much stuff that I want to discover on the guitar, like, still so much to learn, and... Yeah,
the ability to get completely obsessed with something is very helpful.
Yeah,
in some cases.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't put that much time into it anymore as I did like when I was obsessed. I would play like 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
But I've got other things to do at the moment. I've got a job because
you got to buy shoelaces and hats.
Yeah,
things to spend your money on these days.
Yeah, but I still get very excited whenever I hear a new lick that I haven't heard before. I get super excited and I write it down and try to figure it out.
See what's up.
Yeah. So I still love every bit of it.
Well, that's good. Yeah, let's talk about your personal approach to guitar playing. You can tell me about in the context of Charlywood if you want, or just anything about your approach to guitar. Like, how do you see your role as a guitarist in a band?
My role as a guitarist is fairly easy. The thing that I enjoy most about music is creating new songs and listening to songs and good songwriting and stuff like that. So I always try and play for the song. Like, that's the most important thing to me, that it works for the song. I don't need to have like a 5-minute long solo, even if it's I like playing solos obviously, but if the song doesn't require it, I'm not bothered. So that would be the first big thing for me, to try and always play what's best for the song, I guess. And obviously, like, there will always be some bluesy influences in my playing, and like recently started to do a lot of like finger picking stuff, that I'll throw in a couple of like country licks or something like that. If the song requires it.
Yeah, so bit of decoration. You're definitely a lead guitarist, I would say, but the lead elements that you do are like breaks. They're like punctuation in the song, rather than, I mean, there's no bandstanding in Charlywood. If that's the sort of thing you're into, you probably better not come to see us live. Epic 15-minute solos from anybody is not going to happen.
No.
But yeah, it's like, I'd say you have like a punctuation, but that can even extend to rhythm leads sometimes, like grooves. Yeah, I like grooves. You get up to all kinds of business. Yeah.
So, well, and the other big thing for me is obviously pedals. I love pedals and sounds, and trying to experiment which sound works best for the song. That's really a part that I enjoy a lot.
We're going to go full nerd in a minute. We'll get into that. The guitar nerds who are watching this video. Marcus is back! Alright, Marcus! Oh, he's been all professional. He doesn't want to say anything. We're still recording. He's got a gigantic... What is that? Leberwurst-Zimmer? It's huge. It's taken up half of his entire face. And your cola, so that's good news for everybody. Yeah, so maybe when we're... Yeah, come on.
Go on.
What about when we're putting together Charlywood songs? What's your role, do you think, in the songs that we've composed together? Because the first album, I did a lot of that before you joined. But this latest album, the Charlywood album, the eponymous Charlywood album, you were very active, I would say, in the composition process.
Well, in general, what you do very well with the songs, you come up with all kind of different ideas, but it always sounds like you. So what I do is just that I try to maybe do some of the arrangement bits, or mostly what I do is say if it's not good enough or if I think it can be better. And what did I come up with? Like the riff for, like, if you've got a chord structure, and maybe try and come up with a riff like the one for version 2.0. I think we did together, that one.
That business, yeah.
And so that's what I like, or just coming up with parts and helping, like, arranging the songs, what goes well, but we all sort of do that together. And for the other part, just like do decoration stuff, see what fits the song.
Yeah, I have to listen to a lot of shit talking from all the band members, coming in with ideas, being told it's not good enough, being sent away again. Tough times. But it's all for the best, it all turns out. Right, I would say that we split this video in two halves because we're going to get deep into guitar nerd territory now. So if you have a bit of interest in the sorts of noises that a guitar can make and how it makes those noises, stick around. If not, you might want to shuffle off and get yourself a cup of tea and maybe come back and see what's going on in a couple of minutes. Have a look at the pedal board. Here it is. I'm cutting it in now. Note to self, edit in board now. Well done me. Pats on the back all round. So let's just oil our beards and press our trousers and then come back for part two. For you guys, it's going to be like no time. It's the magic of editing. No time will pass for you at all. But I'm going to go and have a drink and a lie down and press my temples and gird my loins for the second half. And you've got to drink your cola.
Yes.
Full of energy.
Full of energy.
See you for part two in a minute. And we're back!
Hey.
Magic. So, it's nerd time. Let's have a look at the board. Talk us through because that looks like a lot of pedals to me.
It is a lot of pedals, but firstly I should say this is the Fender Deluxe 4M amp. And this is an Epiphone Sheraton 1962 reissue. So, yeah, it's clean. It sounds like this.
That's pedal free now.
That's pedal free. That's just guitar into the amp.
All right. Is it old or is it just a reissue of an old
It's
guitar?
just a reissue of an old guitar because
Gotcha.
the old guitar costs 10 grand and I don't have 10
You don't have 10 grand?
to spend on a guitar. No. Yeah.
Anyone, wait a minute. Anyone that's got 10 grand, you can buy our album on Bandcamp and pay 10 grand for it if you want. And then Mr. Levi can get himself an actual old guitar, or we can buy a Scooby-Doo type tour van.
Yeah, that would
like
be nice.
Mystery Mobile.
That would be
for
cool.
touring around in. We'll put it to good use. So if you've got 10 grand lying about and you're not sure what to do with it, we'll put it to good use. Don't you
Yes.
worry about that. That's just a side note. Onwards. Back to Nerd Town.
Yeah. So we should probably start with this big black thing in the front, which is like it's a looper. That's basically the heart of the pedal board. I would call it. So every pedal that's on the board, or almost every pedal, goes into that, and then I can switch it on and off by pressing one of those buttons.
This is your big black strip.
Yes.
Right on. And I don't know if that's picked up on the GoPro here, but they're all jacked in. Each one of these little silver knob-looking things is the input of the pedal, right?
Yeah, it's the input of the pedal comes in, and the output goes back out to the pedal.
Okay, so you're routing the whole guitar signal through all of these pedals, and when they're activated, it changes the sound, and if not, it's just a big long route to the amp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if nothing's activated, it's just it just goes guitar into the amp, no pedals at all.
Okay. So why do you have an extra big black bar? Why not just stamp on the pedals one at a time when you want to have that noise?
Well, the cool thing about it is you can actually program that thing, so you can tell it, well, if I press A, for example, some of the lights light up, which are 3 pedals, and if I press another button, some other pedals are on. So if I were to do that in a song, I would have to manually turn each pedal off,
stamp on every single one of them,
and turn the other one on again, which can get a bit messy, and it helps me to focus on the playing.
You can turn more than one pedal on and or off at a time.
At the same time
with that. Okay.
And also it keeps the signal clean. If I had to run the signal through all of the pedals, it would lose a lot of like the top end and the top sparkle, which I like.
That's what makes us in the band feel okay about crippling ourselves helping you carry that bugger.
Yeah, it's rather heavy.
I mean, it's just... Heavy is the word. Yeah. Heavy is the word for it, what it is. All right, so let's talk about the basic types of effect, because you've got a few basic types on here that do slightly different things, but I don't know how deep the audience... In the comments, how deep do you want us to get into this technical stuff? Are you at all interested? Do you want to just have the vague idea? We'll do it super deep now, and if you want less of that in future, just let us know. So...
Well, we should probably...
What do we start with?
Start with overdrive. Overdrive is always a good start.
Sounds sensible.
So overdrive is a pedal that's emulating an amp that is turned up, and the valves are then overdriving. That's what that emulates, an overdrive pedal. Because if you actually had to do it, your ears would start to bleed, and everyone would go deaf.
We use our ears for other things.
Yes.
So that's good to protect them. So it basically simulates turning up the volume knobble. Let's call it a knobble. Turning up the... I'm going to call it knobble for the rest of the video. Turning up the volume knobble to 11 to eardrum destroying levels. Yeah. But without doing that.
Yeah.
So you're putting too much signal through the circuitry, through the tubes in your case.
Through the tubes, yeah.
And that makes it break up in a very pleasing... Demonstrate. Let's talk more noise. Demonstrate what that is.
I can turn the amp up if you want to, but...
Go.
All right. It may clip, but we can try it.
I'm ready.
That's what that sounds like.
Okay, that's
dear me, that's loud.
That's a crank damp. I felt that through my trousers.
Yeah, it's very loud.
I didn't hate it, I have to say. Okay. And now a much quieter noise.
Yes.
Looking at the audio recording there, I think that's going to be all right. Should be able to make something out of that. Yeah. Okay, So that's handy. I can see the point of that because you don't want to be cranking up the volume on the amp during the... Yeah, okay. So there's variations on that boost and gain and distortion.
Yeah,
but it's fundamentally similar sorts of things, right?
Yeah. The little green pedal, the tube screamer, and that big black plexitone, they do like a similar job. So that one overdrive's much more heavy. Yeah. So that's more like a Marshall-y style.
Okay.
Pedal Marshall, referring to the Marshall plexi amps of the 70s and 80s. Yeah. So that would be a much heavier overdrive than that one.
Gotcha.
And
what else you got?
What else have I got? We've got another overdrive pedal, which is the AC Booster, which I don't actually use just as an overdrive pedal. I use it as a boost for like solos and lead stuff because I really like the mid-range that it has. Makes it sound like a bit like, or at least I feel like it sounds a bit Dumble-y, Dumble referring to like Dumble amps built into the 80s and played by a lot of great guitar players like Robin Ford and legendary because of their price, because there isn't many of them, and they sell at the moment a Dumble Overdrive Special for I guess like $500,000, something like.
If you got $500,000 lying about that you're not sure what to do with, again, Levi's got you covered. He can put it to good use. The nerds are all stroking their beards about the Dumble amps. They know what's up.
Yeah, they know what's up. So
okay, lay a bit of that on us.
Yes, that will sound. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it.
I don't hate it either. Big fan.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's louder and more penetrant and more piercing.
Yes, that's what that's for.
That's what that's
to just make it jump out when I'm playing.
Making sure everyone can hear what you're up to.
Yeah.
Got it. Tell me about the purple one.
The purple one. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
That's an Octaver by T-Rex. So if we put that on, we'll just put it on its own for demonstration. We've got a low octave and a high octave. So we're gonna start with the low octave, which sounds like this. It adds an octave under the note I'm playing.
So it's a synthesizer, and it synthesizes notes an octave above and or below the one that's being played.
Yes. So that sounds like this. Good. Crank it. That's actually a fun sound if you put some overdrive on it. Then it sounds like.
Do it.
That's fun.
Now Royal Blood are using one of them for their bass guitar.
That's a good sound.
Betcha. Okay, so that's that one.
Yeah.
That's a good time. What's happening here?
That's the high octave.
Play it. I'll twiddle it.
Yeah. If you
hold on. Move the hand in from this side.
If you just put that on fairly high and put the low octave down, you can make it sound like a 12-string guitar, which is fun.
Do it.
And if you crank both, you get sort of an organs kind of sound.
I mean,
sounds like this.
It's a good time.
It's a fun pedal.
I'm putting those to 12 o'clock for you.
That's a fun one.
That is a good time. I like it.
Then, if we're talking about modulation, let's talk about this one.
Yeah.
This is the Viper. It's based, or it's supposed to sound like the old Dunlop Univibe, famously used by Jimi Hendrix, which sounds like this. It's sort of a phase thing, but it's very complicated and
probably easier to just listen.
Yeah, easier to just listen. So if Jimi Hendrix would. It's got a vibe in it as well, a vibrato in it as well, which is just like a pitch shifting thing. It wobbles the pitch up and down.
Up and down. So that first one was messing with the volume?
It was messing with the phases. So it was...
it's a stereo thing, or what?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I was putting well, that's a digital thing, so it was simulating the signal getting put in and out of phase again in some different stages of phasing.
Stroking it.
Yeah.
Nodding. Yeah.
And this is vibrato, it just makes the pitch go up and down a bit. Sort of calmer thing like that.
Yes, indeedy.
Like that. So that's that. Then we've got the famous wah on the right hand side. This is actually a filter. So what it does is it puts a big spike in the EQ curve at some point. So one of the frequency gets boosted. And as you move your foot on the pedal,
going up and down the frequency that's getting boosted.
That's it. So that can do the famous wah sound that we'll
lay it on us.
That thing.
I mean,
but you can also use it as like an equalizer. If you just don't touch it, it will should do like an EQ thing. So the Mark Knopfler thing, that thing.
Staying consistently in the ooh section of the wah.
Yeah, that.
I always like to imagine the mouth shape.
Yeah, well, you can't play the wah without doing the mouth shape.
I did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah. I think we both were.
Yeah.
Let's instant replay of us doing that. Edit that in now. Amazing. Look at us go.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's beautiful. Buttons, good.
Buttons.
Yeah. Any other pedals that you think are worth mentioning?
Yeah, well, that's just an equalizer. That doesn't do
Boring.
anything different. Boring. Yeah. We know what that does. And we've got delay and reverb.
Now, that pedal's got reverb written across it in big letters.
Yeah.
What could it possibly do?
Yeah, well, it's a reverb pedal and a rather nice one. If I say so myself.
I remember you getting very excited about that.
I still get very excited about it. I love it. It's got that one sound patch in there.
There was some giggling.
Like so much. It's that one.
Ooh.
Like that. And stuff like it's got like a hold function, so if you play a chord and press that left button and hold it will hold the chord and you can play something over it, which is really nice.
Hey Marcus, how much time have we got left on that camera there? I feel like we've been talking. Our time is limited. What's it saying? Should be a count.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Fine. Cool.
Yeah, so that does that. That's
The
a nice
Empress.
reverb. Empress reverb. And the last thing is the eventide time factor, which is a delay.
Yeah.
So it delays the signal and plays it back again. Like this. But you can do fun stuff with it, like
Made famous by the band U2.
yes, that sound that's gonna come out is made very famous by the band too. So I'm playing 8th notes and the delay is playing it back as dotted 8 notes. That's a little foot switch I can tap the tempo in, as you can see here.
Do you want me to manipulate the knobbles or?
I think you should be right.
Just play one note. Got it.
So that's used whenever I play any lead stuff. A bit of delays in the background to make it a bit nicer. Yeah. But that's
at home, ladies and gents, if you wanted, you could have a listen to some tracks, listen to the lead guitar, and see if you can hear these effects being put to use. Think of it as homework, if you like. if you like doing homework. There are some weird people that,
Yeah.
that like doing homework, so you can do that. Oh yeah, and where's your pedal that opens a portal to a dimension of tentacle monsters?
It's at home. I've just ordered it, but took forever to arrive from the US.
Didn't come yet. So we'll have to wait till another time for the tentacle monsters pedal. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. Yep. Good. Anything else you want to say about the guitar?
No, I think we've covered all the
I
bases.
think we covered. This video's been long enough.
Yeah, there's a lot more pedals that could be on the board.
There's a space there.
Yeah.
You can put quite a big one there.
Will be in the future. But yeah,
I'm sure you've got some on order.
Yeah, and I've got some lying around at home.
We should talk to you again in 6 months and see which ones you've chucked away.
Yeah, I've got a problem.
So you do have a serious gear problem.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that I, for one, am very glad to have you in the band, and a lot of the guitar sound and the flavour of the guitars on Charlywood is very much down to you. I rarely bother touching my amp myself. I just say, Levi, make it sound like that, more like, less like that, and more like that. And you just go and twiddle some knobbles.
Yeah.
And make it happen.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy. That's one less thing I have to worry about. Yeah, let's wrap it up there, and then I'll do a little outro for the ladies and gents. Thanks for watching, and let us know which band member you want us to talk to next. See you next time. Cheers. Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching. Please don't forget to drop us a like and a subscribe, and leave a comment letting us know what you thought of the video, and if there's any other aspects of the music making process that you'd be interested in hearing about. We'll make the videos that you want to see. See you next time. Thanks again.